Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live on Monday night, it's SFL action. It's Tulsa and the Indianapolis Spitfire here live on YouTube. From Greenwood District Stadium, I am Andy Hamilton. Along with me is Gus Schultz and Jeff Malinishin is on stats. Gus, tonight we have quite the game between these two teams. Indianapolis and Tulsa both coming in looking to get wins coming off of losses last week. As we scroll through the starting lineups, what are you looking for in tonight's contest?
The big thing for me is going to be looking at these two rookie quarterbacks, T.D. Drew and Ashley Jackson, taking over the offenses for their teams. They've got a lot to prove as rookies, and so the battle between them is going to be my key matchup tonight.
That it will. We should have quite the broadcast between these two games. Tulsa is wearing their green at home. Indianapolis and the Spitfire are wearing white and black. Please let us know in the chat how we are sounding. Andy Hamilton along with Gus Schultz. As always, Monday Night Football. It's about to get exciting. That other league finished their season up. Only two teams remain there, but in the SFL, we are just getting started. Week 3 action will continue here. Gus, rookie quarterbacks on both sides. What are you looking for out of each of them to start tonight's game?
The thing I really like to see from young quarterbacks is to not try to do too much with it. Take the safe throws underneath, establish a really good rhythm, and then later on, once you've really found yourself, then start looking to take those deeper shots.
There is a look at all our Discord information. The ball is on the tee. The kick is underway, and here we go. Indianapolis will start with the ball. They will return it off the right side, and they will start their drive at the 31. Good return out of Hunter Jones.
Yep, and you're looking at this offense first. There's been a real rebuild in Indianapolis. Only 2 returning players, the running back Keith Swearigan and tight end Dan Daly. So a lot of young guys there on the team, and I think it's going to be interesting to see what they do this year.
You guys say we're doing good in the chat. We will keep an eye on that, and we will keep an eye on the field for this first down throw from T.D. Drew. Nice little check down there. I believe that's Hunter Jones who makes the grab. He will pick up 1 yard. No, excuse me, that's Trevor Farrell. 1 yard for him. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Yep, and there it was, the nice little check down, a safe throw to start getting into the rhythm of this game. And you'd like to see a little bit more on the run after catch there. I think if he turns outside, that's probably a little bit better of a gain.
2nd and 9, 3 receivers wide for Drew. The give is to Swearigan. His first run of the day had a little bit of an opening, and he'll pick up 4 more to make it 3rd and 5 from the 36.
The defense was ready for that run there. They show 2 safeties, but they're playing up a lot closer than you would expect if they were looking for the pass play. So a good bit of running there to pick up 3 or 4, but they're going to have to find a way to break those tackles if they want it big.
Important 3rd down here on the opening drive for these two teams. Drew is going to throw, wants it to the middle, and it's right into the hands and then picked off. Going the other way, Tulsa has an early interception. It's the man himself, Charles Ball, who takes it away.
And this one was scouted the entire way out. They come out in that kind of Tampa 2, cover 2 zone look, and the ball is just not thrown correctly to thread through those zones. And so it makes it a very clean pick for that defense, and just a great way to establish momentum for Tulsa.
Charles Ball was the star of the first season in Tulsa's history. I believe that was season 10, and he makes the big play here early. Now we'll see Ashley Jackson, the rookie quarterback, who will give on the outside. Plenty of room for the running back for Tulsa, but they will only pick up 3. Sanzo Robinson, the veteran man, grabs a couple yards.
And this is a fairly young team for the most part. Corey Jones been on that offense the longest at 3 years, and in the league longest at 5. Everybody else is still pretty new to this league, so they got a lot of room to grow into this lineup.
Very much so. Ashley Jackson will throw again out to Robinson here with a blocker in front. Robinson with room, and he will make his way down the sideline to the 24. The field position combined with the legs of Sanzo Robinson is paying off for Tulsa.
That was an incredible block to break him free. That's probably only 3 yards or so if that block isn't there, but 1 on the edge is all it takes when your running back has clear lines of sight to where he needs to go.
Jackson, the number 8 pick in the draft. Drew, the number 7th pick. So far, Jackson is doing better than Drew is. Only the one throw for Drew, the one pick. Handoff Robinson again. This time he is stuffed right up the middle. No yards for him. Easy Temple was right there.
Yep, and as that defense steps up, Ashley's going to have to learn how to read that and audible out into something a little bit deeper so that they can keep this offense moving at the same pace they started with.
Ryder Live says, what are the team's records? Tulsa comes in today at 1-1. Indianapolis is 0-2. Both teams suffering losses last week. I watched the ends of those broadcasts. Tulsa tried to get a comeback going as Jackson fires off the hands of Indianapolis. Indy, on the other hand, had a little bit tougher of a time trying to get back into their game, and both are looking to bounce back tonight.
Yep, a little bit of an errant throw here to wide receiver Aaron King. He's kind of in double coverage with the cornerback in man and then the safety help coming over the top. I think there's probably a better throw that Ashley can make there, but it hits the ground safely, so no real harm, no foul.
Jackson, one of the more exciting rookies that came into this rookie draft. I actually have had the pleasure of talking with her a few times, and boy, I mean, the podcast she does, Gus, is just beyond me. Me and Cameron Irvine, the commissioner of the league, have talked many times about how great it is, and we hope that she has success on the field as well as off. She will throw here on 3rd and 11, and that one is grabbed across the middle. Nice throw, and the catch is made by Garen Malone III, the tight end.
Yep, and that is the other rookie that they picked up. The only new signings to the team were Ashley Jackson and Garen Malone, and those rookies hooking up there for a big conversion, and that puts them in just licking distance of the end zone.
It's going to be 1st and goal here. 3 receivers split out for Jackson. Give to Robinson. Robinson untouched into the end zone. Tulsa strikes first.
And this is how you want to finish a drive that starts with an interception. Power run up the middle, and just nobody even touching Sanzo Robinson as he finishes this run.
Hurdled a man to get in there, and then the spin move, which was unnecessary, because by the time that they finished the move, he was in the end zone, but still a nice first drive despite the good field position from Tulsa, and they jump out in the lead here at home, and Indianapolis finds themselves in what could be a 7-0 hole.
Yeah, this isn't the way you want to start things out if you're Indianapolis. The pick already hurts bad enough, but to just kind of collapse on defense and let them march straight down the field is going to be really deflating as they try to come out and put a drive together.
So with 7:49 left in the first, it's 7-0 Tulsa over Indianapolis. The 1-1 team showing how they got there. An early pick from TD Drew, if you're just joining us, set up Tulsa with great field position, and they were able to punch it in. Now the Indianapolis Spitfire, who have rebranded this season, will get their opportunity to open their second drive. So far, Drew, 1 completion on 2 passes. The only completion went to Trevor Farrell for a yard. Heath Swearingen, 1 run, 4 yards, but then obviously the TD Drew pick ended the drive and gave Tulsa great field position to start their game.
And as much consistency as Tulsa has on their offensive side with only 2 new players coming in, Indianapolis is that new with only 2 veterans returning and 4 new players coming in.
2 receivers to the top of the formation. TD Drew will check down on the right side to Swearingen, and he gets popped.
A beautiful tackle there from Nate Hazlett, just laying the hurt on that running back out in the flat. Absolutely savage touch.
Nice hit from Hazlett. This team does not shy away from the big team, the big play, the Tulsa defense. Whether it's an interception or a big hit, they like to have their names called. Drew will drop to throw. Well protected. He fires down the middle, and that's picked off as well. Another interception. He scooped it off the ground. This time it's number 49, which, looking down my sheet here, is Richard Newton, the outside linebacker.
Absolutely errant throw. Once again, TD Drew not recognizing that cover 2 zone and not getting the ball high enough to get over the linebackers and underneath the safeties. He's going to have to figure out how to get that touched into those zones. Otherwise, they're going to have to stop throwing in the middle of the field.
New quarterback has to get used to the system. Same thing to be said for Ashley Jackson. Empty set here. Wants the corner route and has got it! Down the sideline. It's hauled in by Corey Jones. You talked about him. 5th year in the league, 3rd year here in Tulsa.
Yep, Corey Jones has been doing great things so far. 100 yards receiving in both of their first 2 games, averaging 23.9 yards a catch, but still without a touchdown. I think he's a little upset at getting drugged down there at the end of that play.
And he's in the chat enjoying this one along with Ashley Jackson, Daniel Mitchell, as well as plenty of others. We'll try and get to everyone's name by the time this broadcast is done. 1st and 10 from the 15, and Jackson will look to throw. Short drop, hit as she threw, and it's incomplete. She'll save the sack. Easy Temple with the pressure.
Easy Temple comes through so hard on this rush. He's one of the real strong new generation of defensive tackles that are really making splashes here in the SFL. So no surprises seeing him collapse the pocket that way.
Two receivers, bottom of the formation. Indianapolis will bring 5. Jackson hit and dropped. Indianapolis brings the blitz and got there, and it's the 3rd time we've called Easy Temple's name tonight.
And no surprise on this one. Easy Tackle led defensive tackles in sacks last season with a monstrous 24. He comes up almost completely unblocked through the middle, and Ashley never had a chance to get that ball out.
3rd and long from the 22. Up by 7. Jackson hit and dropped again. Indianapolis brings the pressure again. Gets to her a 2nd time. It's Eric Riley.
This blitz from Indianapolis, absolutely insane this time. They said they do not want to get burned for another touchdown. They will make the work happen with their defensive line, led by Easy Temple, but the rest of them just as strong as he is.
And that's really where they've fortified their defensive unit up front and on the back end with 5 defensive backs. This kick is away. It'll be from 46, and it is good from 46. Tulsa increases their lead 10-0 over the Indianapolis Spitfire, who have struggled. 2 drives, 2 picks. Tulsa has benefited.
Yep, Tulsa really taken good advantage scoring on both of these interceptions. Indianapolis has got to figure out either how to run the ball more consistently or recognize that cover 2 zone and not be making those errant throws to the middle of the field where the Tulsa linebackers are just lurking like sharks.
The kick is away. Indianapolis will be able to start their 3rd drive. So far, not very good. Hunter Jones on the return will try and get some extra yardage. He'll get out to the 29, and that is where T.D. Drew will come back out on the field. 2 completions, 4 throws altogether. I'll be honest with you there, Gus. The only throws that he hasn't found a receiver have found a Tulsa defender. So far, 4 for 4 if you want to count those 2 picks.
I think he doesn't want to count them, but, you know, he's got 3 new receivers, Hunter Jones, Trevor Farrell, and Leonidas Richards, all new to the team as well, so there's a lot of question marks there.
Oh, that throw is batted down at the line, then caught! Oh, unbelievable, and they probably should have let that one drop to the ground. Glasshouse, the fullback, hauled it in after it got batted away, and I think that's what Drew's telling him right now. He said, you just set us back 4 yards.
Well, you know, if you're the fullback and you see a live ball in the air, you kind of have to go get it. They get their number called so rarely that I think he just wanted his chance to prove that he belongs on this roster.
Well, an interesting play there will set up this 2nd and long. Drew moves in the pocket, fires. Whoa, a one-handed grab! Nice collection by Leonidas Richards, the receiver, who hauls it in one-handed for a big play.
Yep, that is undrafted rookie Richards coming in there with a spectacular catch through the middle. And here's that touch that we needed Drew to see. They're still in that cover 2, but he puts the ball high enough in the air to get over the linebacker's hands this time, and it pays them big dividends.
1st and 10 from the 44. 4.5 minutes to go in the 1st quarter. Tulsa is going to play press. Richards fires. That one's tipped up and incomplete. It was the linebacker in the middle of the field who got a hand on it, Kyron Hill.
Yep, and that is like the third tipped pass. Very fortunate for Indianapolis that that one doesn't find its way into the defense's hands once again. And it's, you know, it's the same old thing. Tulsa wants to play a cover 2 zone, and that takes away a lot of options. You're going to have to get creative, use some play action and some draw to really exploit that.
Shotgun look now on 2nd and 10. They will fake the handoff, play action move, throwing there. Nice completion down across the middle, and then Trevor Farrell gets popped by Nate Heslep, his second big hit of the night.
Yep, Trevor Farrell, the veteran coming over from Vancouver. Hey, we like those guys, right? Doing really good route running there to get through that zone, and the play action works. It sucked those linebackers up to create a better throwing lane for TD Drew.
New set of downs, and Drew will throw again. Out route there is collected and driven out of bounds. Trevor Farrell, another 4-yard grab for him.
Yep, another really good route from him as he gets a solid break on his corner there and makes a beeline to the outside. And as soon as TD Drew sees that one-step advantage, he knows that's a very safe throw as he hangs it right over the out-of-bounds mark where only Farrell can go get that ball.
Three receivers wide here for Drew with Swearingen protecting. He throws, caught! Trevor Farrell into the end zone! Touchdown! Indianapolis strikes back!
And the cover 2 fails this time. They finally get the right route call for it on that deep post route. Gets in behind the safety. And so as soon as Trevor Farrell has his man beat off the line, he is going to be open all the way. He never has to turn back or try to make a comeback to that ball because TD Drew led him properly so that he could make that run in there and finally get them on the scoreboard.
Drew, 7 of 10, has bounced back from those 2 early interceptions and hits Farrell for the touchdown. 3:30 to go in the first, and they will cut the lead to 3 now that that extra point has gone through. So for those... Nope, go ahead, Gus.
And making this a one-score game is going to be really important after the slow, painful start that they got out to. So Indianapolis should be a little rejuvenated. Look for their defense to try and make a big stop here and then give their offense a chance to take the lead.
For those of you just joining us or just trying to figure out what the heck this is the SFL. Football action is live. You can be a player. You can take the field just like Charles Ball, who returned this one out to the 30. If you want to do so, there is a Discord link in the description. And now we'll get to the sponsors. The SFL is sponsored by APM Music, as well as many other sponsors. BitFuel, which sponsors Bit Central sponsors that. Harry's Razors, a close, comfortable shave, as well as Matt Doyle Designs, who did all of our redesigns for the season, including Indianapolis's. The Spitfire look very good coming into this game, especially in the logo and uniform realm. That throw is complete for 9. A nice grab on the outside there by Garen Malone III, the rookie tight end.
Yep, good route for Garen Malone, but he's kind of in double coverage there. I'd like to see that ball go to Sonzo Robinson in the flat, who's got room to run, and then Garen could be able to set a block, possibly letting that break for even more. But you're never going to complain about 9 yards on first down, so still a good play made by the throw that was right on the money.
One receiver top of the formation, I formation. They'll give the handoff to Robinson. Robinson angles it inside and takes a hit there. That is Paul Connolly, who came up to make the tackle, a good veteran safety. But that one, if he would have cut it outside, might have had some big yards.
Yeah, if that ball bounces to the outside, he's taking it very long down the field. And you think with that big I formation, those veteran safeties should be creeping up and getting the defense bunched up, ready to stop it. But they want to protect the air raid.
Jackson fires. That's a completion to Garen Malone III as well across the middle. He has been clutch so far for Tulsa, and they've been utilizing him quite a bit. That one is his 3rd catch.
Yeah, he is by far Ashley's favorite target tonight, and his big body size, 6'6", 253, makes him an easy target for a rookie to find because he's bigger than all of the defenders, so she knows that it's a safer throw to make. I really like how she's going through her reads and progressions and finding the big man.
So far has looked very good on the field tonight. Handoff on the right side. Robinson able to bounce this one out with some room, and he will pick up the first down to the 28. Good running by Sanzo Robinson. That only his 5th carry, but he is averaging 5.2 yards on each run.
Yeah, his running tonight has been really good. His offensive line continues to create really good blocks for him, making wide running lanes for him to get through. Paul Connolly, though, doing a great job on those open field tackles, and he's kind of known for that. He was second in tackles for strong safeties coming into this game with 17 for the first 2 games.
Fullback run up the middle will pick up 4. Interesting play call, but it nets 4 yards, which is on pace for a first.
Yeah, 4 yards out of your fullback on first down. That's about as good as you can ask for right there. It really opens the playbook up because now you can go play action. You could try some screen if you're worried about that blitz coming through. So a lot of options. Ashley's got an empty set.
And they have pushed themselves up. Jackson will change the play at the line and looks to deliver a throw. Out route there is caught short of the sticks. They will give him the grab. It's a nice collection there by Corey Jones. Another receiver who used to play in Vancouver. We got 2 of them, one on each side.
Yeah, but Corey's been here a little bit longer. He's been with the Desperados now for 3 seasons, and just a really solid option for her to get that ball out through. A lot of downfield explosiveness with Corey Jones.
3rd and 1, trying to get off the field. The Indianapolis defense will take a run by Sanzo Robinson right up the middle, unstopped. He gets to the 11-yard line before finally being brought down.
And once again, this Indianapolis defense showing themselves a little bit soft on that run. I think if you're Tulsa, you want to take the ball out of Jackson's hands a little bit and put this game on Sanzo Robinson, who just seemingly can't be stopped. 5.5 yards per carry right now.
27 viewers watching us, now up to 29. There's a lot of other SFL action going on. We appreciate you tuning into this game here. Jackson fires on the outside. Oh, and Corey Jones can't turn the corner. He was kind of left all alone over there, but couldn't quite haul it in with enough room to turn, and he was able to get 5.
He'll be kicking himself over this one. That would have been his first touchdown of the season if he gets that corner turned in time, because there was no way the defense was getting there to stop him. He is hungry for touchdown number 1, and he wants it on this drive.
Jackson hands off. Robinson bounces off one man. Oh, it is clobbered! Coming up to make a huge hit for Indianapolis was Tanner Hendricks.
Tanner Hendricks comes over from Tallahassee to lay the smack down. That was as brutal a hit as you can ask for out of a cornerback. That's not a linebacker, folks. That is a corner putting the hurt on.
And that will knock us into the second quarter of action. 10-7, Tulsa on top of Indianapolis. We'll be right back. Flip ends of the field. Robinson right up the middle, and he's untouched again. Touchdown, Desperados.
This is another example of the Tulsa offensive line having their man beat all the way across that line. There were multiple gaps that Sanzo could have read to take that ball through, and he says, right up the middle suits me just fine. Really doesn't even turn on this one. Just runs straight through like a sprinter the whole way.
Thomas Dewar asked in the chat, can we get a score update on all the other games? You absolutely can. All you need to do is hop on your phone and download the Score Stream app, where all of the scores of all of the games are being updated live as they happen. Score Stream, the official scoring partner of the SFL, as Tulsa scores themselves here to make it a 10-point game, 17-7 here at home. So in short, no, I'm not going to am not going to read through all the scores. You can hop on your phone and do that.
I mean, the ScoreStream app is just absolutely awesome. You know, you've got so many things in the league happening at once. And, you know, we've got a game to focus on here. But as a fan, you can just download the app, see everything all in one place. It's really, really awesome.
The return here has some room from Hunter Jones. A nice spin move, and then it will start at the 37. That's pretty good field position.
Can we talk about that block, though? He took that man and just grode him to the ground to allow Hunter Jones to break that thing through.
It's a nice block indeed, and Indianapolis will have good field position. Down by 10, but definitely not out of this game. Still lots of time on the clock, and they sure do have some weapons, Gus. I tell you what, on this offensive side of the ball, 3 receivers and 1 tight end, and Keith Swearingen in the backfield. Drew will fire. That's another one-handed catch, and it's hauled in for a 7-yard pickup collected by Dan Daly, the tight end.
Yep, that's the veteran tight end. He has been with this offense and team the longest. 3 seasons so far. And a lot like Garen Malone, he's another big body. An inch shorter, but he's got about 7 pounds on him. He should be a favorite target of TD Drew when he starts feeling the pressure on him.
4 down linemen, 3 linebackers for the Tulsa Desperados. 2 backs in the backfield. They give to Swearingen. He's got a block. Swearingen off the left side will get to the 45, and that is a good run from Keith Swearingen to flip the field.
Yep, a pair of good blocks create a small but workable running lane for Swearingen. Charles Ball doing a good job of reading where that run goes and cutting off the angle, because otherwise there's nobody left behind him to stop this thing from going to the house.
Indianapolis, the Spitfire, rebranding in the offseason. I already said it looks good, and they look good on the field in these uniforms, and they'll look real good if they can get some points on this drive. From the 45, Drew will hand off to Swearingen again, and he gets stood up there by the linebacker for Tulsa, Espen Riel, another longtime member of this Tulsa defense, coming over a few years ago when the team started by way of Chicago.
Yep, Espen Riel, a real strong man to have, kind of quarterbacking your defense from that inside linebacker position. It's a big part of what has allowed them to be so commanding here with those tipped balls.
Andy Hamilton, along with Gus Schultz and Jeff Malichin, is on stats as Kyron Hill stands up Swearingen on that run. It'll bring up an important 3rd down here. Indianapolis has only attempted 1 3rd down and did not complete it. That was when they threw the interception on the opening drive.
Yeah, Indianapolis really needs to show some fortitude here. You don't want to give Ashley Jackson this ball back when she's already got the 2-score lead, because she's playing really confidently right now. You need to suck some of that momentum back in.
TD Drew under pressure, floats one. Oh, that's complete. What a move by TD Drew to have the awareness to find Trevor Farrell, and that is the ever-scroll block of the game on the offensive line.
Yep, very smart quarterback play. TD Drew has a running lane, and he can take off with this, but those linebackers are going to swarm the minute he crosses the line of scrimmage there, and he wouldn't have picked up the 1st down. So really good to kind of draw them in by faking the run and then still get the ball thrown off to a receiver down the field.
Handoff here. Swearingen is stood up and dropped, and I'm going to read this. Ever scroll by movement, blocks blue light in order to protect your eyes from digital screens. Don't hurt your eyes by checking out SFL action. Make sure to protect them and see every moment by using the promo link in the scroll below. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL broadcasters' movement, premium watches, sunglasses, and accessories. And I actually was on the movement website the other day, and boy, some of their stuff looks real good. Almost as good as that completion to Hunter Jones would have been.
That would have been spectacular, but the coverage entirely too good from this Tulsa defense. Then we got Nate Heslep running in man there. He's got the thing scouted all the way. And interestingly, I'm on the movement website right now because I need a new pair of blue light glasses, and I'm all about that Everclear block of the game.
Well, you might want to use the link in the scroll below there, Gus, and support the SFL while you're supporting movement. That sure is what I would do. It seems like the right thing. Shotgun look here on 3rd and 10. That also seems like the right thing to do when you need 10 yards on the edge of field goal range. Drew fires to the right, and that is caught for the 1st down. Nice grab by Indianapolis. It's going to be a first down catch for Andre Pierre, the non-contract receiver.
Yep, and this is a good call on third down. You come out in the 4 wide with a tight end set and go to that heavy side of the field where the coverage is going to be a little more chaotic as all those extra corners are trying to figure out what that assignment is. You'd like to see the route run a little bit deeper so that he doesn't have to pick up the first down after the catch, but he did a really good job of making the turn and getting them what they need.
Swearingen is dropped in the backfield. Espen Royale is right all over it.
Yep, Espen Royale is a name that I can't get enough of calling. I love strong linebacker play from the defense. And, you know, as a strong safety, I love secondary work too. But linebackers are what will make or break your defense with their ability to cover both the run and the passing game.
TD Drew will adjust the play at the line, wants to make sure the protection is good on that offensive line, and he will throw. Stands, and that one is almost taken away. Espen Royale had his hands on it like a cookie in the cookie jar, but couldn't quite get it away.
Yep, and TD Drew caught sneaking into the cookie jar again, not reading the linebackers in their zones, almost punished for a third time there. Espen will be kicking himself over that drop.
And you almost look over the linebackers when you're a quarterback and you're dropping back like that, so I can understand the struggle Drew is trying to adjust to coming into this Indianapolis team this year. But here in the red zone, it's time to make your money. Handoff on second and long to Swearingen as Indianapolis looks content with just taking the field goal.
Yeah, not second and long. That was third and long, folks. And, you know, Swearingen picks up a decent amount of yards for a running play, but on third down, it's just not going to be enough. But a field goal will make this a one-score game, assuming they make it, which this is a good spot to be kicking from. So not the worst thing that could have happened to them on this drive, especially after 2 turnovers already.
Indianapolis will look to cut the lead to 1 score. The kick is away, and it is through from 33. The Spitfire cut the lead to 7 and respond to Tulsa's touchdown drive.
Yep, the back and forth in this game is strong. You know, Tulsa's been in the lead the whole time, helped out by their 2 interceptions their linebackers created for them. But the Spitfire have not rolled over and taken this thing lightly. They are continuing to fight and make their adjustments to stay in this game.
And we talked about before the game, I don't think this is a game for either side that'll get out of hand. This is going to be one where these 2 teams are going to fight tooth and nail to the end to try and figure out, you know, who improves and who's going to fall. You know, like I said before, both teams struggled last week. Both teams, you know, are not out of this race with the new SFL format and no conferences. There's a chance for everyone to make it into the playoffs, but you got to win games when you have the opportunity, and this is one that's winnable for either of them.
Absolutely. Their defenses come in about even. 360 yards allowed per game by Tulsa so far, 320 for Indianapolis. So soft defenses all around, but Tulsa's really strengthened up here, and it's working out for them very well.
Handoff Robinson, and he gets rocked on the defensive side. Paul Connolly, another big hit from him. Him and Nate Heslep are going blow for blow here on the defensive side.
These are some of the most brutal hits I've seen in a long time here in the SFL. I know I've only been here for 4 weeks, but these hits, absolutely fantastic tonight.
They look, they sound a lot like Beyonce because all they got is hits. Three receivers spread out, and a 3-3 look out of Indianapolis. The handoff is to Robinson, and he runs right into the white jerseys of the Spitfire. Easy Temple making his name heard again.
And you'd think a 3-3 look is pretty favorable for running. You know, they've only got the 3 down linesmen, and they're short a linebacker in the middle to try and help take care of that. But Easy Temple leading that core there to get the stop, and that's going to be a big one.
3rd and 5. Chance to get off the field for the Spitfire. Outside throw, and it's well covered there. And the drop will actually mean that Tulsa is going to have to punt. It was actually the rookie Peyton Ellis on the outside who was just signed this week, his first game, and he makes a pivotal play.
Yep, that's the kind of clutch play you need out of your safeties there. Come up on a big 3rd down and blow up the passing play and give your offense a chance to come back out and tie the ball game up.
So Tulsa will line up to punt. This might be the first punt on either side of the field. The 2 interceptions gave Tulsa the ball back, and then everyone has scored throughout there. And a nice return here for Indianapolis is going to get to the 37 as Jeff Malinishin from the stats truck lets me know that it is the first punt. So I was correct, but we do like having Jeff there, and he keeps us on track.
Yeah, Jeff, one of the better stats men in the league. He's kept me on point through 3 games so far, and I've loved every minute of it. And loving every minute of it is going to be TD Drew liking this field position. Starting at the 37 means he's got a lot less work to do to get them down the field.
Drew will drop on 1st and 10, and he is sacked. Call him a kid's lunch because he is in a brown paper bag and dropped by Ghibli Dew, the defensive end.
Ghibli Dew, one of the funnier names in the league. Absolutely love it. They got a big name DT and defensive end here on this Tulsa line, and it's working out. I think that's their 3rd or 4th sack of the game already, of coming up big when their offense couldn't on the other side of the ball.
Drew looks to throw again. This one is caught on the outside, and a 1st down run. Nice yards after catch there for Dan Daly, who runs up the sideline. And look at the quarterback comparison. And I think Ashley Jackson has a passing touchdown. They might not have marked it down.
No, Sanzo Robinson ran both of their touchdowns in. And speaking of running, Dan Daly makes you forget that he's a 6'5", 260-pound tight end there, as he outruns that tackle to get to the outside and pick up the 1st down.
Here is the shotgun snap. Drew fires. That one's a completion across the middle. Trevor Farrell, right place, right time to the 26.
And this is a great route to take advantage of that zone 2 look that the Desperados have been throwing at them. Kind of a medium route there where you come underneath those deep safeties, but far enough over the linebackers that there's plenty of room to wiggle that throw in through there. TD Drew doing a good job of recognizing the open man.
3 receivers split out. Tulsa only has 4 on the line and only 6 in the box to combat the 7, and Drew is going to audible. He will throw, moves in the pocket, pressured, and he will deliver it out to Hunter Jones on the outside, who picks up 6. A well-timed play all around.
Yep, really good route, picking up 6 on the 1st down. Nothing to write home about, but again, that 2nd and short is where you can really open up your playbook and try to get creative to take advantage of this zone look. Really expect to see a play action here.
3 receivers again. Drew again in the shotgun will change the play and throw. Drew wants the out route again and completes it right in front of Nate Heslep. It's hauled in on the outside by Leonidas Richards, the undrafted rookie, making his name heard again.
Yep, taking advantage of this out route is a good idea. Sometimes that cover 2 zone can be weak there in the flat, or right above the flat. And so if you can take advantage of that with a quick out, it can be a very safe throw to make that's usually good for 5 or 6 at a time.
Drew will take a 7-step drop, wants the end zone, fires for the end zone, and it's incomplete. Diving attempt from Trevor Farrell. No harm, no foul.
No harm, no foul, but Keith Swearingen was open in the flat there. There was no linebackers in that vicinity. He could have had a nice run after that look, but TD Drew wanted end zone all the way there. But a safe throw, as it wasn't ever in any danger of getting tipped or picked off by the defense.
And I like the chance of taking a shot on 1st down, because you still have the 2 downs to get to the sticks. They will give the Swearingen out of the backfield, and he will pick up 2 to make it a little bit more manageable on 3rd down.
I'd like to see a little more workload coming Swearingen's way. That's only his 8th run. He's only picked up 22 yards. He hasn't found his rhythm yet. And I think especially with a rookie quarterback, you want to get some workload for your running game to kind of take the pressure off that rookie.
Well, they're definitely going to throw here unless TD Drew's going to pull out the QB sneak. No one in the backfield, he's alone, and he will throw. 4 is the pressure from Tulsa, and boy, is it some good pressure, because he is Ghibli Dew going backwards down the field. It's another sack for the Desperados.
Ghibli Do coming off the edge makes the offensive line look silly, and TD Drew just doesn't recognize it in time and doesn't have a good check down to get that ball out to. Nothing the offensive line could do but stand there and hope that their quarterback doesn't get hurt on that monster hit.
1.5 sacks for Ghibli Do is what Jeff Malinshin from the truck has credited him with. So far, a solid day through the first half of play. Indianapolis will try and cut the lead to 4 with this field goal attempt. It's nearly blocked. Tulsa was in the backfield, but the 40-yard attempt is up and through from Vinchek, and Indianapolis and the Spitfire are cutting into that lead again, taking advantage of the defensive stop.
Yep, Indianapolis has really turned this thing around. They throw interceptions on back-to-back drives at the start of this game, but they've now scored on 3 consecutive drives, whereas they made Tulsa punt on their last one. So even though Indianapolis is still behind by 4 points, the momentum definitely going Indianapolis' way.
Spitfire on the road will kick now to Tulsa, who are up by 4 with 2:10 left in the second. It'll be time for the 2-minute drill after this return from Charles Ball, which will go out to the 30. They'll have just enough time for one play before we get to the 2-minute warning.
Yep, and I think if you're Tulsa here, you want to come out and don't be too aggressive. You're going to get the ball back after the half, so you'd like to get some points here, yes, but you don't have to try and force anything. If you only get into field goal range, that's fine because you're in the lead and getting the ball back after the half.
All the big men out on the field now, and they will give to Robinson, and he is flattened. He looks like a pancake my mom made. That'll bring us to the quick 2-minute warning. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Second and 9 for Ashley Jackson, who will lead 5 receivers, if you include Garen Malone, the tight end, on the top of the formation, to the line. 3-2 look out of Indianapolis. They will rush 4. Jackson fires, and that is a huge completion down the middle of the 48.
And you'd think with the cover 2 here that this wouldn't be an open throw, but Garen Malone, that big body, is kind of just always open by way of being bigger than everybody on the field. And he's working against a linebacker in coverage, so he should have a little bit of a speed advantage. So that's a really favorable matchup for Jackson to take.
Up by 4, 1 back in the backfield, 2 to the bottom of the screen, a 3-3 look out of Indianapolis. They've spread the linebackers wide, and they will back out of the blitz. Now Jackson, feeling a little bit of pressure, fires an incomplete pass, and I'm going to read this. Quip Design delivers simple ways to keep your mouth healthy with timed vibrations, brush head refills for only $5, refilled every 3 months. Covered for life with free shipping for life. Try for 30 days and support the SFL with a promo code in the scroll below. A portion of your purchase supports the SFL broadcasters. Quip, a more wholesome clean. I know plenty of people who use Quip, and they are amazed by how good it works. 3 receivers now for Ashley Jackson, and the fake pitch, the handoff to Robinson, a little bit of a tricky play here. Actually, I don't think the handoff was to Robinson. It actually went to Buffalo Marshall, the fullback, and like some Buffalo dip, it burned the mouth of the Spitfire for 9.
I love the trickery on this one. You know, we haven't seen any fullback carries from the Desperados, so faking the toss and then going to the fullback up the gut is a great call on second down.
Now they give to Robinson, and he is stopped. It'll be 4th and 1, and now it's decision time, Gus. Tulsa took a timeout, which would lead me to believe that they're going to consider going for this.
Yeah, I think if you're Tulsa, you don't take this timeout if you're just going to punt it away. They are well outside field goal range, and the way they've been able to run that ball, I have to think they're coming out for this one.
Offense on the field. Indianapolis will put a 3-3 out there. 3 linebackers, 3 linemen. Let's see if Ashley Jackson is working the hard count. No, snap goes off. Robinson, stop! Indianapolis Indianapolis makes the play, and they will get the ball back. It's a huge play for the Spitfire to turn the tide, and it's made by number 53, Ryan Wall, the outside linebacker.
And this is just a case of a rookie quarterback not recognizing the look that the defense is in. The safeties are all the way down at the linebacker level there, and they've got so many big bodies right there in the box. You have to audible out of that, and Ashley just didn't see it in time and stuck with the play as called.
So 3 timeouts and 40 seconds for Indianapolis. They go run on the first play, which is not a good start to the drive. It'll keep the clock moving. On the second play, another handoff to Swearingen. He is dropped again, and now Indianapolis takes a timeout to get out of that formation. The audibles were not there for TD Drew either.
Yeah, the audibles weren't there, but who were there was the Tulsa defense. They broke through 2 or 3 guys, got through that line on both of those plays, and that's going to be very dangerous. That's why they only pick up 3 yards on their back-to-back running plays, because the Tulsa Desperados are winning the battle in the trenches right now.
The crowd is loud here in Tulsa, and the throw will come from TD Drew. He wants it on the left side, down the field. It's tipped up and incomplete. Making the play for the Desperados was Kyler Murray on the outside, and Indianapolis will have to punt.
Yeah, we haven't had much call to bring up his name so far, but that's his second pass deflection of the season. And Kyler Murray has also had an INT already. He does really good work from that corner position, and that is a big one to stop this drive in its tracks and force Indianapolis to punt again.
So the Spitfire make the big stop on 4th down, but can't make anything out of it. And now Tulsa, with 2 timeouts and less than 30 seconds before the halftime break, will try and get things going again. The return will only come out to the 26.
And I think with this long of a field, you probably just take the knee, go into the locker room, and get ready for the second half. You've got the lead. You're getting the ball back. There's no need to try and do anything silly here and risk a turnover that allows Indy to steal the momentum from you going into half.
And I'd give Sonzo Robinson a carry or 2 if I were them. He's got 41 yards on 13 carries, and it couldn't hurt to give him a few more. The Jackson throw will go out of bounds, though. Corey Jones hauls it in, but, oh, they're going to say he was out of bounds. It looked close, but I guess the refs say no.
Yeah, the refs say no, and we didn't quite have the best look at it from the booth up here. So I'm going to err on the referee side. We don't have any challenge coming out on that one. So probably they had a pretty clear view of it here. I don't like the decision to throw here. I don't think you need to take that chance this close in your own end.
When it does keep the clock stopped, so I guess technically it gives Indianapolis a chance to put points on the board. As Jackson will throw again. Well-protected Indianapolis now coming with the blitz, and they will sack her. Easy Temple gets in there, his 2nd sack of the game as we look at the comparison from the line, and that should do it for the first half of play. Easy Temple makes the sack, and no, they're not going to get this off. That will end the first half. Tulsa 17, Indianapolis 13. We will pause and be right back after the halftime break. We are back here in Greenwood District Stadium. What a first half, 17-13. The Tulsa Desperados out in front at home here, led by Ashley Jackson, the rookie quarterback, over the Indianapolis Spitfire. Jackson having a pretty solid day through the air, 8 of 12, 114 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions, though, for her. On the other side of the ball, TD Drew, 14 of 21, has the 1 touchdown and 151 yards, but the 2 interceptions is really been the difference in this game, as the Tulsa Desperados will start with the ball. A nice ball return. We'll bring it out to the 35. Gus, what are you looking for here in the second half from this Tulsa offense to put this one away, and from Indianapolis to try and take over?
If you're Tulsa, mostly just continue doing the same things that you've been doing. Your defense has been really strong. Your offense is moving the ball with a lot of efficiency, but they've got Steven Bush sitting out there running his routes. He has not been thrown at even once so far. Get him involved, and maybe you can start running away with it.
Nice throw there by Jackson to find the open man across the middle. Making the grab was Garen Malone, the third. Boy, we have called his name quite a few times tonight, making his impact known.
Yeah, that's his 5th reception. By far, he is Ashley's favorite target, and he shows why there. He runs a really good route with a ton of separation, and then is able to pick up another 5 or 6 yards after the catch in order to pick that first down up there. So he has been putting in a ton of work to make himself a prime target for her. That puts him at 80 yards already tonight.
That is a good chunk. Jackson will throw again. This one a check down to Robinson, who can't corral it out of the backfield. You got to be soft when you're throwing to those running backs. Some of them don't have the hands of a receiver.
No, this one just a little bit off target to the left. You want to lay that out a little more in front of him so he's got room to run. But that's the kind of play that, you know, takes a little bit of time to start getting right. We're only in week 3 here for the rookie quarterback. They'll get that one down, and it'll become a very dangerous weapon for Tulsa.
Play action. There is some MeUndies laundry on the field as a completion across the left-hand side ignites this crowd, but we will have to check on that MeUndies laundry on the field. Will Danderson with the completion, but let's hear what Stripes has to say.
Neutral zone infraction, number 91, defense.
That is a offsides penalty. The Desperados will decline that. MeUndies are the world's most comfortable underwear. Use the promo link in the scroll below. A portion of your purchase helps support the SFL broadcasters. Give the gift of comfort with 100% satisfaction guarantee from MeUndies. Free shipping and returns. Signature soft and stretchy MeUndies. Excuse me. They I went on their website. I tell you what, Gus, they have a lot of colors and patterns and styles, and they look really comfortable as well, as Sanzo Robinson gets some comfortable yardage. Comfortable run down the sideline, and he's down to the 1. Oh, my! Showing off the speed.
He had the most comfortable run lane in the world, though. A monster block sets this thing up. It's going to be probably only about 10 yards or so on the reception here. But the offensive linesman lays the hurt on Tanner Hendricks and busts this thing wide open. Steve Vitak finally catching up just in time to save the touchdown. And Tulsa knocking on the door at the 1-yard line.
Tiamani with a great block. That should have been the ever-scroll block of the game, I tell you what. But now a first and goal from the 1. Handoff Robinson. Can he do it for a 3rd time? No, he's stuffed by Indianapolis. He looks like a turkey on Thanksgiving because he's not going to get there.
Thanksgiving turkeys are quite delicious. I can't keep up with these jokes, man. They're too good. A good stop, knocking them back a yard. This is where Indianapolis is really going to be tested. Can they hold them to a field goal and keep this a 1-score game?
All right, let's see here. 2nd and goal. Actually lost a yard. Now from the 2, the outside run for Robinson, and he gets flattened. Not going to get there that time. Indianapolis looking to make a goal line stand.
Good linebacker play coming through from Indianapolis right now. As long as they can keep coming up and meeting this at the line of scrimmage or even in the backfield, they should be able to do it. Let's see if Ashley tries to go to the air this time and get it done on 3rd down.
Looks like they're double covering out on the right-hand side. Jackson going to throw under a little bit of pressure, and now is going to go down! Gets sacked back to the 9-yard line. The Spitfire had brought the blitz, and it was Dante Hammer who was literally a breath away from Ashley Jackson, breathing down her neck literally, and was able to make the sack to drop them back and complete the goal line stand.
Yep, and this is really a coverage sack. Everybody on Tulsa's offense was all covered up there in the end zone. Ashley just had nowhere to throw the ball, nor any running lanes to get through to try and put it in herself. So great job by the Indianapolis secondary, taking away all of the options and trying to keep their offense in this game. Their offense, for their part, has been doing really good stuff. They had 3 consecutive scoring drives in the first half before that final punt out. And I have to think, if you're Indianapolis, the answer here is just execute a little bit better on 3rd down to keep your drives alive and get into more scoring positions.
And that stop could be pivotal down the road as Indianapolis keeps this lead at 7 instead of it getting out of hand. Hunter Jones will return to the 31, and TD Drew will come back out on the field for the first time in this half. 14 of 21, 151 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. He was all over the field in the first half.
Yep, but he really calmed down after those first 2 drives. The thing I want to see is more of Keith Swearingen, who's only had 10 carries so far.
10 carries, the 1 catch out of the backfield for a yard. They'll give him a carry here, and he is able to fight forward for 2, but not much more than that. Espen Royale was all over him like a hat on a bald man.
Yep, good fighting from him there to pick up that 2-yard line. He's met at the line of scrimmage, so I mean, that should be a 0-yard game, but he knows that he needs to step up for his team if they want to get back into this thing and take the momentum onto their side.
3 receivers split out for Drew. They will give the delayed handoff to Swearingen again. He fights through the first tackle, but is unable to evade the second man, and he will go down. Another 3 yards for him will make it 3rd and 5.
And I like the commitment here. You come out for your first possession on the half. You know your running back hasn't had the amount of work that he wants to do, so start putting it in his hands. But now TD Drew is going to have to come up big, not make that same mistake of misreading the linebackers again.
Short drop, deep throw, tipped up and picked. Tulsa has another interception, and I believe that is the man they just highlighted a moment ago, Kanye Rockefeller, one of the oldest veterans in this league, and he takes that one away.
What an interception there. Rockefeller coming up big, but it's really the tip that sets this thing up. That is 3 tips to 3 interceptions. There were a couple more that weren't picked up by the defense, but Tulsa's going to be very happy about their work today.
There have been 7 deflections already, is what Jeff Malinishin has patted us from the stat booth. He is doing a superb job, always giving us the best information. And Tulsa has their 3rd takeaway, and Robinson will take it right up the left-hand side for 5.
And he is a little bit slow to get up there. I have to worry about that if I'm Tulsa, but he seems to be okay. He's been a real workhorse for them. 16 carries, 45 yards so far, and 2 touchdowns. That's actually all of them. And you'd think with as much passing as Ashley's been doing, she'd have racked one up, but they've really let Sonzo take control in the red zone.
Yes, actually haven't even heard of a catch by Stephen Bush as they give to the fullback again, and he makes another run up the middle for a first down to the 28. Crowd is loving it.
Yeah, this home crowd's got to be feeling really good. Their defense is playing super well. Everybody except Bush has been involved on that offensive side of the field. A big run from their fullback there is really just evidence of Tulsa having their way with this Indianapolis defense more often than not. But Indy has bent but not broken. Only the 2 touchdowns after all these big Tulsa drives.
Now Jackson looking to throw, will deliver on the right side, deep. Oh, it's hauled in one-on-one play by Stephen Bush. The commentator's curse, and a nice catch to the 6.
What a grab from Bush. He was saving it all for this one play. He has got to make a huge contested jump there against Von Sinnock in order to win this ball, and he wins it in dramatic fashion. Takes them all the way down to the 6-yard line.
Bush able to take down that catch, and it'll be first and goal from the 6. Jackson fires a floater into the middle. That's caught by Corey Jones to the 1. Indianapolis, boy, they are bending. Let's see if they break.
And Corey Jones continues to be denied the end zone. So close there. One more step before he makes his cut, and that route has him in the end zone. But instead, he is kept out down to about the 1-ish yard line, maybe the half-yard line. But they're coming out for the big run here. Sonzo for number 3.
Big boys on the field, and Robinson squirts into the end zone. He looks like jelly from my jar jumping onto my sandwich. He's in for 6.
And once again, the big offensive line for Tulsa pays dividends. That's why we haven't seen a whole lot of sacks. Only the 2 sacks for Indianapolis's defense, because they've just had such good protection there for Ashley, and the running lanes have been wide open.
It's a desperado beatdown so far, 26-13. They have taken over, and really it's been TD Drew and the interceptions that he's thrown that have made the biggest difference in this game.
Yeah, if those interceptions don't exist, we're probably looking at like a 14-14 tie or maybe 17-14 game. But instead now Tulsa up by 2 scores, and just all the momentum on their side now that they've picked TD Drew off one more time.
Kick is away, and Drew will re-enter the field of play after this return from Hunter Jones. Jones will bring it out to the 30, and that is where Drew, the man, will come back out onto the field. 3 interceptions, and we will go through this. The SFL is sponsored by some wonderful sponsors, MediaTek Institute, as well as, give it a second, and then there it is, MeUndies, the most comfortable underwear, as well as Movement Watches. Some wonderful sponsors in the SFL. The scroll bar below is showing you all of them throughout the day, so make sure you stay tuned to that, as this one from Drew was nearly taken away again.
I don't know if Drew could handle another pick there. Espen Rael continuing to be a monster in the middle of that linebacking core. He has been so clutch for them between the tips, coming up and stopping the run. He has been the definite leader of this Tulsa defense.
4 wide receivers split out, and the tight end is on the line for TD Drew. 27-13. They are in a hole, and they got to start trying to come back. Only down by 14, though, as Drew fires. That one's caught by Hunter Jones outside of the 42. That's big.
That is absolutely huge. He had so much separation there. They love this quick out route, but the fact that they were able to hit that pass early from all that separation means he can turn and pick up a couple extra yards to pick the first down up and really start just taking the tiniest bit of momentum back from this Tulsa team.
They're getting some of that yak, and that's what you want, is the yards after catch. So we'll see if Drew can keep that up, and we'll get to some chat shout-outs here in a moment. 3 wide receivers spread out for Drew, who will change the play at the line, and he will look to toss it, slings it, and no. Trevor Farrell was out of bounds on that one.
Yeah, Trevor Farrell just couldn't hesitate long enough. You see him kind of stutter step there, but then his momentum catches up with him right before the ball gets there. A little bit unfortunate, but they've been so reliant on this quick out route. I have to think Tulsa is going to come up and try to jump that route at some point, because it seems they go to it almost every other passing down.
Tom Pepper, Corey Jones, Ashley Jackson, Nate Heslep, Love Beans, the team, Rymith84, and Donger in the chat, as that one was nearly taken right back by Tulsa again. Kanye Rockefeller, you don't see him drop many, but he wasn't able to collect that one.
Kanye Rockefeller, the veteran of veterans here in this matchup. 7 seasons in the league, and he has just been an absolute force.
Down by 14, Indianapolis here on 3rd and 10 needs a first down. They need to get all the way out to the 47-yard line if they want to convert. And Drew will be under pressure, so he fires, and that is incomplete. Through the hands of the receiver, he was unable to haul it in. Pierre-Andre was, and it will be 4th and 10 from the 42.
And I hate to call the same names over and over again, but Espen there on the coverage, an absolute monster. He knows that he doesn't have the athleticism to get the step and jump that route. So what does he do? He uses his smarts to time the hit perfectly to make sure that that catch cannot be brought in, or if it was, that it's going to be stopped short of the first down. Really, again, heads-up play from this linebacking core.
The punt is away, and the return will come out from Charles Ball. Tries to make a man miss. Can't do so, so at the 23, Ashley Jackson will return to the field of play. She has played really well for a rookie today.
Yeah, super well for a rookie. She's hit all of her wide receivers now. We would like to see a little bit more of Bush so far, but the connection to Guerin has been absolutely phenomenal, and then the handoff to Sanzo Robinson has really been incredible work for them.
Jackson, empty set, will fire down the right-hand side. Caught! Going! Can he get there? Corey Jones to the 15, to the 10, and will he get to the end zone? No, he's finally brought down by number 20, Peyton Ellis, the rookie, making a clutch tackle to save Corey Jones from the end zone. It almost was a huge play.
Somebody get Corey Jones some Benadryl, because I think he is allergic to the end zone this season. But really, the big part of that play is Tanner Hendricks ball hawking, getting a little bit greedy there, and when the pass isn't where he needs it to be, that thing is blown up, and it's all on him. You have to play the ball first and not just be greedy and go up and try to take the pick.
Dropping back, this one tossed out to the right-hand side to Sanzo, and he is dropped again. That was not the best play you'd want to see on first down. It actually loses yards as Peyton Ellis makes another good play.
And an errant throw by Jackson there. You have to lead the running back on that swing route coming from the backfield. And when you throw it behind, you're just setting your running back up to get blasted on the play.
They will give to Robinson, left side. Can't beat the man to the corner. It was a nice one-on-one tackle there by Von Sanook.
Yeah, Von Sanook reads that thing all the way through. He knows that Tulsa has been very heavy in the running game once they get down to the red zone. And so those safeties are playing up a little bit closer to the line, trying to make sure that they can shut that down and keep this thing from getting out of hand.
4 receivers wide and only Robinson in the backfield now. 3-2 look out of Indianapolis. Jackson fires on the out route. Oh, what a play! A nice defensive stand as Steve Vitak gets a hand to it, and Indianapolis another goal line stop.
A beautiful read there by Vitak. That is the out route that he's so used to seeing his offense running in practice that he knows exactly how to get that thing jump and get a hand in the way. That is a clutch stop to keep this thing from being just atrocious. You know, if you're down 17 points, that makes it 3 scores. But if you're down, math is hard, 21 points, then that's 3 full touchdowns that you need. You've only had the 1 so far.
Yeah, and talk about Peyton Ellis and that touchdown-saving tackle on Corey Jones and just the weight of what that might mean if Indianapolis can start putting together some drives here late in this game. Could mean everything. Indianapolis will get the ball back. TD Drew, 3 interceptions, 1 touchdown, 15 completions on 27 throws, but he will get a chance to redeem himself here as Hunter Jones will bring the return out to the 30-yard line, and the offense will come back out onto the field. Well, we have seen some fireworks tonight, Gus. Both teams playing hard and trying to get back in the win column.
Yep, and if I have to call out a player of the game at this point, I think it's going to be Espen Royale in the middle of that defense leading the charge. But the place where I need to see more action is Keith Swearingen. He needs the ball more, and he needs to get some space for his quarterback to work to take the pressure off him.
Wow, what a throw was that. An off-balance toss by TD Drew finds his man in the middle of the field for a completion. Leonidas Richards on the receiving end, but look at this. I mean, come on.
Threading the needle there. Rael had that thing dead to rights, but the throw was just off to his left there in a place where nobody can get it but Leonidas Richards. That is some good, solid quarterbacking from TD Drew, showing that the 3 interceptions do not have him rattled.
Well, they're going to fire again. This one a check down. Oh, and Espen Rael almost made him pay for that confidence.
I thought we were about to have to call a pick 6 there. That was about as dangerous a throw as you can make as a quarterback in this league.
He had the room in front of him, just couldn't quite haul it in. Those linebackers, I tell you what, those hands sometimes are bricks. And Espen Rael has been playing out of this world. That's his 5th deflection. Still can't wrap his hands around it for a pick, though. Richards fires on the, TD Drew, fires on the outside. They will skirt their way to midfield. Hunter Jones with the soft hands there makes a catch for himself.
And if you're Indianapolis, I think at this point, with only a minute left in the game, you have got to be considering this 4-down territory. You're down by 3 scores, and you've only had 3 scores in the entire game. So if I'm their offensive coordinator, I'm not trying to pick up all 3 here. Play it safe, get a couple yards, come back out and try again on 4th.
45.4 is the rating for TD Drew. He pumps once under pressure, and he will get sacked again. Tulsa is in there, and I believe that's Rhett Sawyer.
It is indeed Rhett Sawyer, the defensive tackle for the Desperados. We haven't had much cause to talk about him. He hasn't been involved in the big sacks as much as it's been Gib-Lidu, but, you know, he's got his job there coming through the middle, and a monster stop to make the 4th down conversion. Far too much, and that is soul-crushing if you're a Spitfire fan.
The punt is away. Ball will not get very far from there. And I was going to say, the 45.4 rating sounds a lot like what they used to rate me on that old Hot or Not app out of 100. So not very good for TD Drew. On the other hand, Ashley Jackson is having quite the night. 15 completions on 21 throws, but no touchdowns yet. It's been all Sanzo Robinson via the ground. He hasn't made an impact in terms of yardage, but boy, those 3 touchdowns look pretty. 2 backs in the backfield, heavy formation for Indianapolis. They will bring a blitz, and Jackson fires to a completely open receiver. Just a breakdown in coverage as Garen Malone III, what looked like he was on an island, he was so open.
Yeah, the defense really bought into that heavy set and brought a ton of pressure like they needed to stop the run. And then all the coverage backed out so far as if it was going to be something really bizarre and awkward. So much room to complete that pass there, and a more athletic, like wide receiver type player probably going to break that thing open for even more yards. But for the tight end, you're going to be feeling pretty good about what you did there.
Yeah, Garen Malone looked like Tom Hanks in Castaway there. He was so alone on that island. Hand off to Robinson up the middle. Robinson's got some room, and he picks up 9, and anytime your running back can pick up 9, you're having a pretty good day.
Peyton Ellis, the strong safety there, absorbs fully that attempted truck from Sanzo Robinson, and then he just stands there and looks at this little running back like, is that really what this is going to come to? A good stop from the Indianapolis Spitfire, but they've got to find a way to get their offense the ball back by creating some turnovers of their own.
That'll end the third. It's 30-13. You're watching the SFL on YouTube. I'm Andy Hamilton along with Gus Schultz and Jeff Malinishin on stats, and we're having quite a good time here in Tulsa. We're in the Dome tonight at Greenwood District Stadium, and boy, am I glad, because it is freezing cold around the United States as Sanzo Robinson delivers an ice pick to the chest of Indianapolis with that carry, another first down run to the 40.
Yeah, Sanzo Robinson started off a little bit slow in terms of yards per carry, but had really good efficiency getting it done when he needed to. And as this game has worn on, he has started to exploit more and more holes in the Spitfire defense and really starting to break these runs for a lot more yards.
2 backs, and they will give to Robinson, and he is cut down at the line. Nice defensive play there. A tackle for loss for Von Sanook.
Von Sanook continues to be hungry to stop this run. It's like he is laser focused on Robinson and wants to keep this from getting any more out of hand than it needs to be.
Well, they will have to start collecting the ball back as time is oozing off of this clock. 2 receivers to the bottom of the screen, 6 in the box for Indianapolis. Ashley Jackson will audible out of that and look to toss it. Slings it near side, and that is caught. No. They'll say Corey Jones was out of bounds again. That might be worth a challenge.
I'm not sure I risk my timeout on a challenge when I'm up by 17 points. You know, if you lose that and then you go down by a timeout and somehow Indianapolis finds the magic to get back into this thing, that timeout could be a lot more valuable than the 5 yards you get on a successful challenge there.
That's true. It would make this 3rd down a little bit easier, though. Right now, they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Jackson stands, delivers, and that looked pretty easy there. It looked like easy whip. It came out of that can real quick, and Corey Jones is definitely inbounds on that one at the 28.
And Corey Jones showing off his dance moves there. He says, if I can't have a touchdown dance, I'm going to have a first down dance. And he's got so many yards tonight. He's up over 110 for the 3rd consecutive game, but still no touchdowns.
No, he had 3 receivers all over him. He looked like the Prince of Persia. He was draped in so many receivers. But, you know, I guess Corey Jones finds a way, and Ashley Jackson found a way to fit that ball into a tight window. And now 4 receivers, they're going to throw again. Jackson stands, no pressure, now some pressure, and now a sack. Indianapolis was bound to get there eventually. Jackson had a lot of time, but Eric Riley finally was on the way and made the play.
Yeah, we're going to have to call that a coverage sack. With only 4 men coming on the blitz, that means there's 7 guys out in coverage there. Nowhere for Ashley to get that ball to. And so eventually the offensive line just going to get tired and give it up there. Let's see what they do here to try and make their 3rd down conversion easier.
Well, it's 2nd and 18, and Jackson, now pressured, will throw as she's hit, and that was an errant throw, nearly taken away. It was a good defensive play by Tanner Hendricks. Couldn't quite haul in the interception, and Jackson's really lucky that one fell short.
Yeah, if that ball is just a touch softer on the throw, Tanner Jackson would definitely come down with this. But really, it's the coverage from Steve Vitak holding up Corey Jones, creating that opportunity there. So really good double play from the corner and safety to get a big 2nd down stop to make it a 3rd and impossible.
You say impossible. I say this is the SFL. That was Tanner Hendricks on the deflection, and easy tempo with the pressure. Jackson now here on 3rd and short, and how's impossible now, Gus? That's a 1st down to the 13. Stephen Bush with his 2nd catch of the game.
You know, Stephen Bush may not have gotten his number called a whole ton, but boy, he has been absolutely clutch when Jackson throws him the ball. He runs hard routes on these contested throws where he knows he is going to get clobbered right away. His hands are safe, and he always picks them up exactly what they need, taking them down to the red zone now.
From the 13, and the fans are getting into this one, and the sidelines are loving it. The big boys are back out on the field. This is a formation we've seen them have some success out of as they check it down there. I believe that might be, nope, it is still Sanzo Robinson out of the backfield. Looked a little slow there, might be a little bit of fatigue here. This Tulsa offense started the 4th quarter on the field, and they're still on the field now. Nearly 4 minutes tick by.
Yeah, but this offense has had to move the ball almost 400 yards, so a little fatigue, not super surprising to see after all that work.
I mean, I'm tired, and I'm just sitting in a chair. Ashley Jackson gets sacked there. One highlight for the Spitfire so far tonight. has been easy tempo. He has a lot of sacks. 3 is now his total. He's been all over the field.
Yeah, and Easy Temple is the kind of guy that you look at and go, yeah, he's probably going to be the sack champion of this season. I'm pretty sure he had it last season. I know he beat all the defensive tackles. He's definitely a man you have to game plan for.
Jackson in zone, put it in a phone booth. Corey Jones mosses everyone for a touchdown.
Corey Jones, 3.5 games later, finally gets his first touchdown, and this one is a beauty. He is all covered up, but Ashley Jackson throws a perfect dime pass, getting that one in there. Corey Jones with the safe 2 hands on that ball and drags it in. Surely the dagger in the Spitfire.
Poor Peyton Ellis thought he had a pick right there, and his hands were just a bit behind Corey Jones. And that, folks, is the difference between a veteran and a newer player in the league. You know, you got to go attack the ball in the air, and Ellis will learn that. It'll just take some time. But, man, he was close, because if Jones was not there, that was a pick for Peyton Ellis. And, boy, would that have been inspiring for Indianapolis. Instead, it's a touchdown for Tulsa. They're now at 37 points to Indianapolis's 13. 7.5 to go. Indianapolis is down by quite a bit. Not necessarily out of it. It's only a 24-point game. 3 quick touchdowns would get them back in it. I've seen crazier things, but it's going to take a lot.
It's going to take a lot, and a lot of it comes down to TD Drew being calm and collected in the pocket and getting the ball to the best possible location. You cannot have any more errant throws. You can't misread the defense anymore and not audible out of a bad play call. TD Drew has to be perfect on every single touch for the rest of the game.
And TJ Covington, the safety for Tulsa, went down on that play. Looked like a head injury. Off the field quickly, so we hope it's nothing too serious. We will update that for you if we get an update from the sideline. Now Indianapolis back out on the field, and Drew will fire again, looking to throw just a check down here out of the backfield, and that will actually still lose a yard as we look at the receiving numbers for Indianapolis. Farrell has had a solid game, nothing to call home about, but a very consistent performance.
Yeah, and he should be able to break 100 yards here on this game, plus the touchdown from their 3rd drive of the game. He should be pretty pleased with himself. It's really TD Drew and Swearigan that the pressure is on right now for them to come up big on this drive.
Drew checks down to Swearigan. He gets back to the line, but nothing more, and Indianapolis has gone nowhere but backwards on this drive so far. This Tulsa defense is putting up quite the fight.
Well, they smell blood in the water. They know that they've got this game almost won for their team, having only allowed 13 points through 3.5 quarters, and they just don't want to give up anymore. They want to go back to the sideline and let their offense deal with it.
Well, Swearigan will take the run here to the 33, and I don't agree with the call on 3rd and a mile to run the ball. I mean, I get you're out of it, but, I mean, come on, show some fight.
Well, I think if you're considering it 4-down territory, a run there's not the worst idea in the world because it's going to be unexpected. But if your intention is to punt on 4th down, there's really no excuse for running it on 3rd and a mile.
Yeah, and I don't think you can go for it from your own 33 with 6 minutes to go, so Indianapolis might be conceding defeat here. They punt it away, and Charles Ball will get smacked forward to the 36. Actually made some more yards in the air there.
Yeah, and you don't expect to see strong safeties making yardage through the air there, but when you get hit at that angle, sometimes good things will happen for you. Now, I mean, the question is, with the lead this big, do you let your full offensive starters come out, or do you play it safe and rest some of these guys?
Well, it looks... I could be wrong, but it looks as if the backups are in. No, that's still Jackson and Robinson. Robinson into the open field now with a blocker, and Robinson has a first down to the 46. I thought he might be able to scoot down that sideline, but the Spitfire recover quickly and only give up 10.
And he's gotten some great looks on those screen plays there where the offensive line is out in front of him. He gets beautiful blocks and is able to pick up a lot of yards through the air. That's 62 receiving yards and 64 rushing yards. 124 total for a running back. He is going to feel very pleased going into the locker room at this
He's
game.
going to feel very tired going into that locker room. Someone get his pillow ready for the bus ride to the hotel, but not before that interception is going back the other way for Indianapolis. That is going to be a pick six for Steve Vitak.
What a read there. Ashley Jackson has been so good all night, but Vitak has this thing scouted all the way. Jackson just a little bit lax on making her reads, feeling too confident from that lead, and Vitak sees it all the way into the end zone this time. He's even got the defensive line running down the field with him to lay the blocks if they needed, but they are not needed as Vitak has all the speed in the world.
Well, this extra point would make it a 17-point game. I said they would need something spectacular, Gus. I don't know if that qualifies, but boy, is it going to help if they want to try and mount a comeback. But that third down run still puzzles me. If I mean, it worked out with the pick six, but you could still have your offense on the field right now. I don't know. I mean, you got to get touchdowns out of this, so I guess that works. That's one way to get in the end zone, and your offense has struggled a little bit tonight with only the one touchdown on the offensive side. So hey, maybe it was a good thing to give Tulsa the ball back.
I don't think I'm going to game plan around punting the ball away and relying on pick sixes to score my points. I think it's going to be
probably not the safest plan, but hey, it works for the Spitfire on that drive. And now we will kick it back to Charles Ball, and he will stumble a little bit and make his way out to the 32. He's been pretty solid in terms of the return game.
Yeah, Charles Ball doesn't pick up a spectacular ton of yards, but he doesn't put the ball on the ground. He doesn't move himself backwards trying to fight for extra yards. He just picks it up and says, I'm going to get an extra 3 or 4 from my offense to give them the best shot at making a good drive happen.
Jackson back out on the field after that pick six. Makes things a lot more interesting, but they're still up by 17. Jackson going to throw here again. Fires a short ball to the near side. That one is caught. Breaking through one tackle, but unable to get through the second is Gito Williams, the backup tight end, 6'3", 235.
And I like the safe throw. Come out and show the confidence in your quarterback to let her throw the ball again, but make it easy for her by giving her a nice read to make with a tight end working against a linebacker and a lot of space to make the throw safe.
So that 1st and 10 play will move the chains for Tulsa. Now a heavy formation again. Stephen Bush, the lone receiver, out on the field. Indianapolis has a lot of men in the box to try and stop this rushing effort from Sanzo Robinson, although if I had to guess, it would be an outside run to the top of the formation, but they are going to milk this clock. There's the outside run, top of the formation. Robinson will pick up 3 before Indianapolis stuffs him.
Yep, and that's a pretty straightforward cover 2 man look, and it's a good way to come out and try to stop the run if you're not sure where that run is going to go. You don't want to commit extra blitzers to try and fill gaps. You want to let your smart defensive player make the reads and come up and make the stops like they did there.
3 down linemen, a lot of men in the box for both teams as Tulsa has gone strong, and now they will give to Robinson. Stands behind his blockers, tries to shake a man. It'll be 3rd and 1 at the 46. Robinson now has 71 yards on the ground. On a good night for him, as we already mentioned, both via the air and the ground.
Yeah, 120, probably 130 now all-purpose yards for Sanzo Robinson. He has been a very reliable target for Jackson to get the ball to, whether it's been through the handoff or on the swing or screen routes to the outside. The Spitfire just don't have a good answer for him right now.
And Tulsa, seeing the interception on the last drive, it looks like they are going to stick to the run here on this. And there's plenty of room up there to the top, and there is a 1st down for Robinson. He does get dragged back, but forward progression will give him the 1st down.
And I think it's a little more than just, with the interception, they don't want to run the ball that much. They are very much in their 4-minute offense mode, where if they think they can get their 1st downs on the ground, do that, let that play clock run all the way down, and don't give Indianapolis a chance to use the pick six to their advantage and build up some more momentum.
You're absolutely right, Gus. Absolutely right. They can definitely put this one away with a few more first downs and to get on the other side of the 2-minute warning. Both teams do have all 3 timeouts. Snapping the ball with 2. Very smart play from Jackson as Robinson breaks down the sidelines and gets down to the 35. A first down move, and that should be the last play before the quick 2-minute warning.
Should be the last play. Sanzo Robinson not doing a whole lot on this, but a smart cutback to the right side of their formation opens up what looked like a 5-yard run and turns it into an 11-yard run. And so we're definitely going to be going to the 2-minute warning here. And if you're Indianapolis, you have to feel like you're just out of this already, but you cannot play like that. Don't let Tulsa run this score up on you by running the ball down your throat.
That brings us to the quick 2-minute warning. You're watching the SFL presented by APM Music on YouTube. Andy Hamilton, Gus Schultz, along with Jeff Malinishin, and Tulsa has a 17-point lead, has the ball, and Indianapolis, I assume, will use all 3 of their timeouts. You know, it's almost the same thing as a doctor who says, you know, we did all that we could. As a coach, you want to be able to say that you've done all that you can, and Sanzo Robinson sure has done everything he's been able to tonight. First down to the 23. It's a good run by him as Indianapolis burns their first timeout.
And if Sanzo picks up another first down, he will break 100 yards of rushing in addition to his 62 yards of receptions. And, oh yeah, he's got 3 touchdowns on the ground as well. I think if you're calling out a single player of the game, it's hard to say that it's not Sanzo Robinson.
Yeah, Jackson had a really good game, 22 of 30 with the 1 touchdown, but that last pick 6 might take her out of contention for that, but Robinson is a real good target for that, although they have thrown in, that was actually Aaron King, the wide receiver on the run. Interesting that he would take the handoff. I don't know if there's a fatigue issue or what, but now the backups are in for Tulsa, and the Desperados look comfortable to be able to take this one, although Indianapolis has burned their second timeout.
I think my other strong choice for player of the game, probably Corey Jones. 7 catches, 141 yards, and his first touchdown of the season. But really all of the wide receivers and tight ends for this Tulsa offense were getting the job done every time they were asked to out there. And you could say exactly the same thing about their defense. All the interceptions and tipped balls, the sacks, Tulsa executed all 4 quarters and all phases of this game exactly the way that they wanted to.
King Jack Washington is in and is the one getting the handoffs. And Indianapolis used their last time out. Fullback run for a first down. That'll go ahead and do it down to the 10. And there is not a chance for Indianapolis anymore. The Tulsa Desperados will improve here.
Yep, and Indianapolis had a lot to be happy about for most of this game. Their defense was pretty good for the most part, keeping them in this thing and holding Tulsa to only 17 points in the first quarter. And then, you know, the field goal comes out, and then it starts to run away from them just a little bit. And their offense, for their part, moved the ball through the air pretty well, but 3 interceptions is going to ruin your confidence in the passing game. And when there's no running game to back that up, you just stagnate.
56 seconds and ticking. Tulsa will improve to 2-1. Indianapolis will fall to 0-3. Long season to go. Still 9 games for both of these teams. Not out by any stretch of the imagination for any of the teams here on the field. Tulsa, obviously at 2-1, will be well within the talking points of some of the better teams in the league. Indianapolis, on the other hand, will be at the bottom of those talking points, but definitely has the opportunity to turn things around before the season ends.
Yeah, 9 games is so much room to continue maximizing your plan to figure out how to take advantage of all that offensive talent you brought in. For the most part, their defense did all of the right things. If their offense doesn't give up those picks, they probably keep so many of these Tulsa points off of the board there. You just have to figure out how to best utilize all of your offensive talent and keep TD Drew from being in those situations where he's throwing those interceptions.
37-20 is the final. The Tulsa Desperados get the win here at home, Greenwood District Stadium. For everyone here at the SFL on YouTube, Andy Hamilton, along with Gus Schultz and Jeff Malinishin on stats, we want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight. We know there may have been some technical difficulties, but you guys stuck with us, and we appreciate that. If you could, make sure to fill out the broadcast survey, which will be coming sometime soon within the next week. Let us know how we did. Let us know how we can improve. We always love reading through those responses. For everyone here, Indianapolis falls to 0-3. Tulsa improves to 2-1. We want to thank you guys and have a great rest of your Monday night. Week 4 starts on Friday.